Hi everyone, welcome back to the Money Wisdom Podcast. Today I am very happy, and I really mean that I am very happy because I have been trying to get this guest in the studio for a long time, but she broke our hearts many times by not turning up. So today I'm very, very happy to have Shulin here to join us for this Ikigai series. Just before I get into the questions for Shulin, I'm going to read a bit about what she does, about her company. So pardon me because I obviously cannot remember. So I'm just going to read, and I'm going to ask Shulin later to talk a little bit about herself and the team that she leads. So Shulin is the managing director of Aslant Legal, an award-winning team of specialist consultants with proven record of recruiting and building talent across the legal sector. Their mission is to serve the legal community. So I suppose they are specialists in recruiting for the legal people, the legal community. So Shulin and her team understand the nuances of the legal industry and have an unparalleled network of contacts which uniquely position them in partnering with their clients to attract the right talent for long-term success. They are market specialists because you hear of executive search agencies. They recruit for everyone in every position, but they really recruit mainly for the legal people, the legal community. So they are market specialists with deep network and experience and are well placed to fill very specific and hard to fill positions and have successfully built out teams for clients. So great.
Thank you.
Very warm welcome back.
Thank you for having me, Chris.
A warm welcome to our studio, and finally you made it.
Thank you. Thank you for being so patient, inviting me to be part of this. I'm excited.
Yeah, so as a start, maybe you can tell the audience a bit about yourself. I mean, I'm quite sure many of our audiences would have watched you on YouTube because you do a lot of social media. But please tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about what your firm does.
Okay, so I'm a lawyer turned recruiter. I was a lawyer for a few years, and I've been a recruiter now for 15 years.
You've been longer as a recruiter than a lawyer?
Way longer. And this is my longest job. And I started this company, Aslant Legal, 9 years ago. And basically, it's helping organizations, law firms, financial institutions hire the best legal talent. And I also run a podcast called After the Bar. So what we believe in, and I'm sure that's what you believe in too, is being purpose-driven in whatever that we do.
So, before we started the camera rolling, I asked you about your company name, right? Because initially I read it as Aslan, and we all know that Aslan is a lion in Narnia. And Aslan, the lion, represents God, right?
Yes.
So maybe you want to share with a little bit about the name. How did you come to naming your company as Aslan?
So the company was initially known as Answer Search. I started it with my then co-founder. And then 3 years ago, we parted ways. I bought over her shares, we continued, and we decided to rebrand. So I was scratching my head. I need a name that has something meaningful. It can't just be, and I like the fact that it starts with A. Okay, so on the directory, it'll be right at the top. Okay, it's starting with Z will be a disaster. So I got a branding agency to come up with names, and they came up with a lot. Nothing resonated until Aslant Legal. So Aslant, the way they pitched it to us is that it's like an upward trajectory and a slant, right? And we are all about progress, whether it's in our relationships, our work, our careers. And that's what we represent for the people we work with. And then I brought it to my sister. My sister said, hey, great name. Chronicles of Narnia, Aslan is the lion, represents God. And then my other friend, who's a Christian, she said, hey, the T looks like the cross.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, done. This is the best name, Aslant Legal.
Okay.
And rhymes with excellent.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, nice. But it's really a nice name. And at first, without you telling me this story, I really associated with Aslan. And that's why I pronounced it wrongly initially. I didn't read it as Aslan. I pronounced it as Aslan.
We're actually happy with either pronunciation.
Okay, so we had a little bit of chat on Ikigai.
Sure.
I know initially you thought Ikigai is a 4-circle Venn diagram.
Yep.
But now that you know about Ikigai, maybe can you share with all of us your understanding of Ikigai? how would you define in your
Okay.
own words, and what role does it play in your life?
I feel like I'm being tested. It's because I feel like my understanding of Ikigai is completely wrong and you're going to expose me. But anyway,
But now you know the answer, so it's fine.
I don't know whether 100% align with what you think and what is correct. My understanding of Ikigai is to lean into your God-given strengths and talents and use that for the greater good. And in doing that, meaning making it more than just about yourself and actually really amplifying it, helping other people, you will then naturally lean into a meaningful career and be able to provide for your family, provide for yourself.
So, based on your description,
You look like, Shulin is wrong.
No, I didn't say that. But based on what you have described, is that something that you really believe in doing? And in doing that, do you find that you provide a lot of value to other people?
Okay. So I quit law after 3+ years in a law firm. And I was in one of the best law firms.
I saw on your LinkedIn.
Yes. And then after that, I went to the legal service because I was actually already in search for meaning, right? I went to the legal service to be a DPP, Deputy Public Prosecutor. I was assigned to the sexual assault cases and I quit after 3 months because I realized it was not the right fit.
Why was it not the right fit?
It's not the right fit because, okay, actually I wanted to stay there for 2 years. I wanted to go there to do what you see on TV, like objection, Your Honor. Then the judge would say, oh yes, overruled or whatever. I very quickly had the exposure I was looking for, which is to do an open court trial by myself. I remember we were prosecuting a Russian guy who molested an air stewardess and a passenger on a plane. It was reported in the papers. We got him locked behind bars. I intended to stay for 2 years, but then a recruitment firm called me to ask me to go interview. At that time, I wasn't a Christian yet, actually, but I'm really glad I followed that prompting in my heart and I went. I thought that if I had stayed on in law, I would be doing a disservice to myself and the people I'm serving. Because in order to do this job properly, you need to want to excel. The thing is, and I've been excellent all my life. I went to all the top schools. PSLE was also very good, Nanyang, Hwa Chong, NUS Law School. I had no desire to want to excel or to do my best work. As a lawyer, and this is someone I pride excellence, as part of my DNA. So the fact that I had very low desire to want to give it my best, and then I saw my colleagues, everyone was just like, there's so much fire, they're lit up from within. I just thought this is not for me. So rather than stay on and just clock in, clock out for 2 years, I thought I better get out and find something else that does light me up. My calling, I was calling it back then.
Do you know what is it that somehow didn't energize you in law practice, that it doesn't make you want to give your best?
Okay, I think what I thought was the practice of law as a law student and even before entering law school is completely at odds with what actually happens. Because we romanticize a lot of things. And actually, I tell everyone, before you study law, you choose to study law, do an internship or two. Even then, doing an internship doesn't give you a real idea of what it is, but it will give you a better idea than just watching TV shows, right? That does not depict real life. And a lot of people think that, Shulin, it's because you want better life. You want better hours. Sorry, my hours are not better. It is a different kind of intensity, different kind of heart. But what I think didn't inspire me to want to do my best work was I felt like I couldn't directly impact lives. I was an IP lawyer, litigation lawyer, so you're working a lot of times for big corporations in a big firm. So I felt like I wasn't making that direct impact that I wanted. In fact, I did some volunteer work as a pro bono lawyer to help lower income families navigate whether it's divorces or criminal law. I felt like, wow, this is the real law that I signed up for. So when I went to be a DPP, I thought this will be it. But actually, no, because...
No? But you put someone behind bars.
I know, but I'm not able to... I had to interview child victims. I had to interview child witnesses. I saw thousands of upskirt photos. Okay, and I felt like, wow, I salute to all those lawyers who can do this. I can't. I know that I wish I was made of sterner stuff, and maybe some people say, just suck it up, just do it. But I felt I can't do this day in, day out. I don't feel any passion for it. I remember this moment. There was this moment when I was in the room with my roommate, and she and another friend of mine, I was eating my Subway sandwich, I remember. Over lunch, they were debating so fiercely about the rule of law. Okay? I was like, wow, you're very excited. I clap for you, but I really am not. So this is like an inkling for me into who I am. So I had a very good understanding of who I am quite early on. At that time, I was 27, 28 years old. I was like, this is not it. And since I've tried, I know I better leave ASAP. So even though, yes, I'm 42 this year, I'm a millennial, I know some people say I behave like a Gen Z. And I'm glad I did. If I just stayed on to get the bonus, which they were trying to entice me to stay for the bonus, I might be one of those mediocre, below average, struggling, miserable lawyers who I see all the time.
Is it possible that you can be very good but no passion? I mean, some people, they don't like it.
Yeah.
They may not feel like they can put their best in the job, but they're just good at it. They're just naturally good at it, and they can deliver. I mean, they may grab every day when they go to work, they hate their job and all that, but even if they don't put in their very best, they are just excellent.
Yes, because some people tell me, Shulin, why need to be so excellent? Just get by can already, right? And so I will say this, everyone is programmed differently. Everyone has different values. My priorities are very different from another person. I know my priority, which is I don't want to settle. And I also know that I can do better in something else. And I desperately was looking for that. So I was a lawyer in a big law firm. At night, I would go for business managing classes, Singapore Chamber of Commerce. Then I even went for a fashion course at LaSalle. I thought, hey, I love handbags, love clothes. Let me see whether I can design. Really cannot. Yeah.
Why did you go for a fashion course? Nothing to do with lawyering.
I was trying to see whether I can lean into my passion. So to answer your question on passion, I can be super passionate about fashion, but if my talent, my strength, my God-given gifts do not align, then please go find something else. So yes, I can. It's not, some people say, Shulin, I'm very lucky, everything coincided. But it's not luck because I really went out to seek it. People don't see that I went for interview after interview after interview. There were so many doors that were closed. I was trying to see what else I can do other than law.
So, I mean, that was like 9-10 years ago.
No, that's 15 years 18, ago. 20 years ago. Yeah.
When do you leave lawyering?
2 months into my law job in the big law firm, I already knew that this is not meant for me.
But you spent a few years.
I did.
4 years.
I really wanted to make it work. I desperately wanted to.
So how does it feel at that point in time when you have to give up a glamorous title of a lawyer, job, potential? This morning we had a guest in the studio, and then after that I went lunch with him, and then after that he shared that his son wants to be a lawyer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he's
make sure he watches this podcast.
So he wants to go to NUS Law School,
right, and
study law. So I asked, does he want to be a lawyer or he likes to study law? It's quite different, right?
Right.
So he said that, he wants to be a lawyer because he wants to make a lot of money very quickly and then but do something else. Because
better go and be an iBanker than be a lawyer.
Yeah. So I said that I know a lot of lawyers, it's really hard life, and I'm not sure they can make a lot of money in a very short period of time. Probably financial services you can. Well, doesn't sound right, but it's true.
Come and work for you.
It's my firm. You cannot make a lot of money in the short period of time. Unfortunately,
there's no such thing. Actually, I actually was just interviewed by Channel News Asia. They did this survey across 8 countries in Southeast Asia, and number 1 on Gen Zers' mind is money.
Yes.
Number 2, career progression.
Yeah.
And at the bottom is flexibility and workplace culture, which was surprising to a lot of us. Actually, not so surprising because I've hired younger people before, and I realize now that there is this, I guess you call it the TikTok generation, the instant gratification where we want everything quick and fast. Even myself, I want it fast, I want it quick. And I think for the younger generation, they see so much economic instability, they want to make as much money as possible. Then maybe do something else.
Yeah, but in financial services, actually, it's possible. These three are all possible.
Law, very hard.
Yeah, in my industry, it is possible. I mean, not necessarily when you do it is the right thing. I don't believe, firstly. I don't believe
in get-rich-quick schemes.
Yeah, if you make money in a very short period of time, there must, to me, something must be wrong, right? But in my industry, it's actually possible. But well, we digress. We digress. But yeah, so my question to you was, how did you feel? You have to give up that prestigious job as a lawyer.
Yes.
I'm sure your parents might have some expectation. So now you're going to give up lawyering, potential good salary.
Yeah.
And then don't know what you want to do.
Okay. So I'm very fortunate because my parents are, and have always been very supportive. So I'm the first lawyer in my entire family. And of course, my grandmother was devastated. No longer has bragging rights to say that her granddaughter is a lawyer. It was more difficult than I expected for me to grieve the entire loss of identity. I didn't realize how attached I was to the lawyer image, the lawyer title. And, even when you're in NUS Law School, right, people ask you, why are you studying law? Immediately there's the air, there's that pride, your ego gets very big. Superiority, yes. And I didn't realize how much I attach my self-worth to the title and the image of being a lawyer. I'm the kind of person, Chris, if you get to know me better, is I do first, think later, which has been to my detriment. So do first, think later, quit already, okay, just go into this job.
Do first, apologize later.
Yeah, but later, no lah, I'll apologize. But I realized that, it was very difficult to shed that attachment. 1 year into my recruitment job, I wanted to U-turn back to be a lawyer. But I think this is really God's hand. No law firm will have me. I applied everywhere. And now I'm so glad I stayed on because it's been 15 years. And I believe it's crucial that I went through all that. The grieving of the loss of identity, the quitting of the job, the forsaking of the bonus, the severe drop in salary. I was on $8,500 a month at Allen and Gladhill. Telling a lot here, but that's many years ago.
And as a senior associate?
Yes.
Only a senior associate, not even a partner.
And that's many years ago. Now it's a lot more.
Wow.
And then I went to be a DPP. My take-home salary was $3K plus. So you can see that money was not my main driver and never has been, actually. Still isn't. And then as a recruiter, I was on zero because it's purely commission. Right? I mean, they give you an advance on commission. And the thing is, because I lean heavily into my strengths, I found I will not say passion. It's because my strength. And then it became a passion. The money will then follow. I mean, I'm not earning as much as an equity law firm partner, who's making big bucks. But I'm happy, I'm fulfilled, and I'm making a real difference. That, to me, I feel is so much more. You can't put a price tag on that. But I would say this, when I first became a recruiter, you have access to this database of everyone's CV, salaries. Then I was looking at everyone's salaries. I was like, oh dear, I made the wrong move. And then I took out a calculator. I was calculating, oh my goodness, this is the amount I've walked away from. And this is the bonus I'll be getting. And, and I think that drove me. Even though people will say, oh, that's so negative. You really walked on, right? You moved on. Why are you still looking back? But I think that drove me to want to really do a good job. So very early on in my recruitment career, I won Best Newcomer. I built a lot in my first year. Then I very quickly became the global top biller and everything. But remember, I told you excellence is key, right? So I managed to find this vocation which I truly want to be excellent, and I always want to be even better.
So, if today you have stayed on in lawyering, and assuming that you are very successful and you're earning a lot of money, and a lot of people sought after your services, seek after your services, but you don't like it. You think you will be able to survive?
That what you've just described fits a lot of people in the world, not just lawyers, bankers, what have you.
But yourself?
I think for me, now that I'm a mom to 2 boys, 9 and 6 years old, the most important thing that I can leave behind for my children, including my husband, is that we show them what success means to us. So success, to some people, is money in the bank account, right? And financial security is important, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a client of Providend. Yes.
Good choice.
Yes, good choice, yes. And being able to make a significant difference, to me, that's important, to the lives of other people, whether it's my teammates or the clients we're serving, general community. And be able to sleep at night, like there's integrity in what we do and we're transparent. So what you just described, to me, it doesn't sound like the person is successful. But the person might think that he or she is successful. So who am I to judge?
Yeah. And the reason why I ask you all these questions is I'm trying to sort of like lead us to the definition of Ikigai. Because it all started with me asking you the understanding of Ikigai.
Please correct me now. My definition of Ikigai is wrong, I know.
No, it's not. It's not wrong. It's just that you are actually living out an Ikigai decision without realizing that to be the case, right? Because if you look at the 4-circle Venn diagram, which is really what most people think Ikigai is, because you go and Google Ikigai today on the internet and you will see this 4-circle Venn diagram popped out. There are plenty of books that talk about the 4-circle Venn diagram is Ikigai. Now, don't get me wrong, it is a good framework, but that's just not the Japanese definition of Ikigai. Because if you look at the 4-circle Venn diagram, it first starts with what you are passionate about, what you are good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. But there are many things that you do that you may not be good at, but it's still meaningful, and it is still of worth, it is still very purposeful, and that is Ikigai. If you do something that you are, generally speaking, you have to do something that you are passionate about, and you have to do something that you like, but you may not be necessarily good at it, and you may not necessarily be paid for it. That can be Ikigai. So the 4-circle Venn diagram, although it is a useful framework, maybe it is a good framework to be used for helping a person make career decisions, but that is definitely not the definition of Ikigai. The word Ikigai is a Japanese word and is actually 2 words formed together. The first is Iki and Gai, and the word Iki means daily living and Gai means value. So if you put Ikigai together, it means what you do on a daily basis that is of value.
Oh.
And they don't have to be the big things in life.
Right.
They can be the small things in life, right? They don't have to be one single purpose. They don't have to be a big mission like I need to go out there and save the world. Then that is my Ikigai. It could be as small as bring your kids out for a walk in the park, and you find that it's very meaningful. It could be sending your children to school every morning. You find that to be meaningful. That's your Ikigai. It could be you go into office and you drink your favorite cup of coffee and you enjoy that moment of peace. That is your Ikigai. It could be doing your morning quiet time and you find it to be so of value. That is Ikigai. So it doesn't have to be the big things. And without maybe you realizing, you actually made an Ikigai decision years ago because you gave up a good pay. You don't have to be paid for it. You gave up a good pay, in pursuit of something that you believe you should do, right? And you believe that you can really add value. So I was asking you all this question because you were saying that maybe I don't know Ikigai, but you actually know Ikigai and you actually live your Ikigai.
Oh, wow. Thank you for the affirmation.
What would you say to people whom today they have to make a tough decision, especially making financial sacrifices to pursue what they truly believe in? Because you walk that path.
Wow, you made me very emotional because, I mean, you bring back, it's not an easy decision actually. A lot of people thought that, oh, wow, Shulin, you made it and everything. But there were many times where I felt very lousy. So if there's anyone listening in where they feel like, oh, they're struggling, I was there too. And it's not easy to walk away from your comfort zone, to walk away from what society expects of you and what you expect of yourself, right? I think I of course now I can say that it's the right move for me, but you don't know whether it will work out. And I mean, even sometimes as fellow business owners, we don't know what tomorrow will bring. What I will say to someone, if you're young, okay, there are probably three age groups that are listening to this. If you're a student, you should, as early as possible, figure out what's your strength. Do the Gallup Strengths Finder test. I actually paid a personality test company back then to do a diagnosis for me. So I found out, oh, okay, I'm good at sales, I'm good at speaking, communication. But you see, being good doesn't mean you naturally are gifted. You still need to go to the gym and put in the reps, which is why I started a podcast. I love writing. I have to keep honing those skills. So if you're very young, go and hone the skills that you naturally are gifted in. You have a natural gift. All of us have an innate natural gift. And then if you are working right now and you feel very unfulfilled in your job, which is where I was, go and speak to other people who have made pivots and live way, way, way below your means. Why I could walk away from an $8,500 a month job was because I had no mortgage. I had the full support of my parents. I come from a middle-class background. I didn't come from money. And I had not married, no kids, right? 27, 28 years old. Of course, if in your 30s, you have kids or what, it's very difficult to walk away from something. So no wonder you feel stuck. No wonder you feel like every day you just have to make ends meet. But I want to say that there are always options, there are always ways. You are not actually stuck. What is keeping you stuck is the belief and the narrative that you are stuck. There are side hustles. Let's even put away the word, take the hustle away. The word hustle away. You can have a hobby, right? You can do something small, like what you said, every day you can do small actions that could be of value. And before you know it, you could start forming a new narrative for yourself. And then for the more senior people, those who are in their 40s, 50s, if you feel very unfulfilled in your job, I will say this, and if you have young children, they are watching you. So you're doing a great disservice to your children if all they see is that, oh wow, this is what being an adult means. Unhappy, everyday grumbling, complaining, and every day I just see my papa, mama scrolling. My heart breaks actually when I see people like that. Because we are setting the tone for our next generation, particularly if you're a parent. Your responsibility is to heal yourself, is to accept yourself, the good, the bad, the ugly. So yeah, my advice is do something about it. You're not stuck.
Thanks for that.
Have you been overwhelmed by market uncertainty in a landscape crowded with misinformation? Our new ebook, A More Reliable Way to Get Enough Investment Returns, is here to help. Each chapter is carefully curated to help you overcome confusion and empower you with knowledge that prioritizes reliable returns, guiding you towards a fulfilling investment experience. Check out the link in the show notes to download a complimentary copy of the full ebook today. Thank you, and let's get back to the episode.
I know I didn't prepare you for this question, but what do you say to those people whom they find it so difficult to choose what they really believe in because of a certain, like you said, certain identity they attach to a certain status. I mean, look, you came from the good schools,
Yeah.
right? The top school in Singapore. from primary school, secondary school, you went to NUS, you did well, you went to arguably the best law firm, and then, lawyer is a very glamorous title. It's so difficult to give
Yes.
that up, right?
It is.
And today, if you are a lawyer and then, for example, you find passion in being a property agent, and you give that all up, right? And how do you tell someone? Because someone will say, look, I'm a lawyer. Now I've got to go and beg for business. I have to go and be a salesperson. And a salesperson always is like not so good, right?
Yep.
Why you didn't study hard enough? You cannot find a job? Because that's what happened to you.
It is. Absolutely. I know someone who left her job as a lawyer to be a property agent. And I know for a fact that I think she's even shy to broadcast the fact that she left. Maybe it's for her own reasons. She's more private. For me, it was very difficult to 100% own this new identity.
Last time.
Now I'm fine. Come on, 50 years. Oh my gosh. 42. Seen a lot of therapists,
Very
coaching.
young. 42 is very young.
Yeah,
I wish I was 42.
You look very young. I think asking myself when I'm 70 or 80 years old, when I look back, right, what would I want to be proud of? What kind of stories would I be able to tell my grandchildren? Yes, I'm already even thinking about my grandchildren. What kind of world would I want my next generations to live in? I would like, personally, to know that my children and my grandchildren are able to say, oh, Grandma has done this and done that. And then I could then reverse engineer like, okay, am I actually living that life that I should? Because there have been times where I've lost my way too. I made it all about the business. And my husband even said, wow, you treat this house like a hotel. You're barely at home. I let my business consume me, my need to be excellent, right? And so I would ask someone and encourage whoever's listening in, if they find it difficult to step away, A, accept that it is normal. It is normal. And B, to start that grieving process. So the grieving process, I'm told there's the denial, there's anger, and then there are a few steps, but at the end is acceptance, right? And you might go back and forth. So the denial part is the first step, because if you really realize, I'm not living the life that I would really truly want, it's never too late to redesign your life. And again, it doesn't need to be a massive overhaul. A lot of people think, all or nothing, right? But actually, you can take baby steps. You can start having conversations. It doesn't need to be super scary. I actually encourage people to do it like fun and games. We've lost the ability to play as adults. Gamify it. Make it fun. And life doesn't have to be so serious.
So now that you are doing what you like, from a lawyer to executive search, right? Do you feel that you are truly living out that Ikigai moment?
So I love what I do. And I know I'm so blessed.
What is it about executive search?
Yes, what is it? So it's very challenging because I move partners, law firm partners who are highly stressed out and super, super high achievers. And not only do I move individual partners, I move teams of partners.
Yeah,
and I negotiate mergers of law firms. Yeah. So why I love this, I genuinely believe this, like I was made for this job. Because not only do I understand how lawyers think, I was one, I am also a fee earner, I'm a service provider as an executive search. I'm a business owner. I also have to do business development every day. I know their stresses. I know their targets. I know exactly. In fact, really you need to have an entrepreneurial mindset to do any sales job, any job where you're a fee earner. So you may be a financial advisor, you may be a property agent. I'm sorry, it's very similar to being a lawyer, partner who's in charge of bringing in revenue, and me. We're not much different. And what's your question?
My question is, what is it about executive search?
That
excites
fires
you,
me up. Okay.
and then you feel that
Yeah.
you are living out your ikigai,
yes,
right?
yes.
I mean, isn't it just
Okay,
isn't it a recruitment
got it.
agency?
Okay,
Isn't it just a recruitment agency?
Yeah.
So
okay.
what's the big deal?
Good. Okay, so a lot of people think recruitment is like no big deal. Just take the CV, send, see which one sticks, right? For us, we do it very, very differently.
Okay.
It requires a lot more effort because we dig very deeply, just like you guys do, into people's innate motivations, where their aspirations are. And then we see whether it's a fit. We would rather walk away from having this deal, doing this hire, and preserve the relationship than to force a deal, earn that commission, but you burn that bridge. So why I love doing what I do, I see the potential, I see the fit before they can see it. It's an instinct thing, and I just see so many possibilities. I'm also an eternal optimist, I've been told. Because if I'm very pessimistic...
Entrepreneur has to be eternal optimist.
Eternal, right? Optimist. Then when I'm let down and disappointed, very sad.
It's
but
okay.
You move on. You lick your wounds, you move on.
So what do you ask your potential recruitee, right? So that you know them, you know their aspiration. And not just their aspiration, because what I hear is that you probably also hear your potential recruitees, their struggle.
Yeah.
Right? They are in this law firm and they have no day, no night, you know. And what do you ask them to get all that out from them?
So the main thing I would want to find out when I meet someone, whether it's a client or a lawyer looking for a job, is to figure out what actually is the pain point. Because you can be grumbling and complaining and unhappy about a lot of things. I mean, that's a typical Singaporean syndrome. But if we really distill it down to, this is the main pain point. Make the main thing, okay? And then we look for what could be a more desirable situation, right? Whether you are looking to hire or whether you are looking to change jobs. Because everyone, they have different motivations. And I do not like to make any assumptions. Assume is making an ass of you and me. Waste of time. So my job is to find out what's the most important thing to you. So let's say I'm working with a 50-year-old law firm partner. He's looking for a job change, right? A lot of people might assume, he wants to go to a very prestigious law firm because he's right now in a prestigious law firm. You dig a little bit deeper, you realize, hang on, he's already made his millions. That's not so important to him anymore. What's important now is to make up for lost family time. And maybe he wants to volunteer with his church. So if you are just sending him options which do not align, you can't build that relationship. But once you invest that time to get to really know a person, you have a relationship for life. Yeah, so very few people mastered the art of listening, I realize. They make so many stories up in their head.
So, I mean, you have done quite a bit of jobs for your clients. Do you remember one or two specifically that, after they move, they share with you the impact that you have made?
Oh, wow. I have actually.
That moved you, that really moved you.
I was once at this 10th anniversary party of a law firm, and I was just feeling a bit lost. I remember I was holding my drink, standing in the middle, because everyone was like, talking. And then 2 lawyers came to approach me at the same time. One is an in-house lawyer, who moved from a law firm to a bank. Then another one is now a law firm partner. Both of them thanked me, took turns to thank me. I felt so good. One was like, hey Shulin, thanks to you. If not, I would still be stuck in that law firm. I now have this career that I'm very proud of. Then, if not for you convincing me not to accept the counter offer, I would have stayed on. Now I'm a law firm partner, I have my own book. I felt, wow, this is great. Doesn't happen very often. But that was a pivotal moment for me because I realized I give myself so little credit. A lot of people, they are not going to go out of their way to thank you, right? Actually asking for that affirmation is free. Or maybe meeting someone for lunch and just say, hey, I really appreciate what you've done for me. I do that for people because actually my love language is words of affirmation. I love hearing those words. And I realize I don't ask for those. If you don't ask, you don't get.
Actually, I don't know whether you realize it, and I don't know whether your clients have told you, because I think the impact that you made to your client's life definitely goes beyond the monetary aspect.
Yeah.
Because when I think of executive search firm, good ones, of course, just now I put it like, what's the big deal about executive search, right? But a job is not just a job for many people. A job gives people identity, gives people meaning, gives people purpose. Yes, it provides food for the table. It also has got a lot of impact on the families of the clients, right? Because when you move someone from a firm that they are probably burnt out, tired, no time, to a firm whereby they can really enjoy, find their purpose, do good job, have more time, you are actually impacting their families. I can imagine some of your clients, their spouses will come to you and say, you just gave back my husband back. You gave back my husband. You gave back my spouse, my wife. Because in the previous firm, he had no life. He had no time. He comes back, he's angry. But today he's a totally different person. Right? So I think that's the impact that you bring to your clients. They may not say it, because not everyone would be so vulnerable to tell you about, the struggles and the things that are happening at home. But I'm quite sure that it is beyond that pay, that purpose, that meaning, the job, the identity, which are all important. But ultimately, it is the family that you impact.
Actually, it is. In fact, I tell my team that each person we are working with is someone's husband, someone's wife, someone's daughter, someone's son. And when you are negotiating their pay, ask yourself, would you be happy with the job that you've done, knowing that this is someone's family member? What if it's your own family member? So to us, I know for sure I've made a very big difference. And a lot of the lawyers, HR, C-level people, they are very, very thankful to us. Some show it, some don't. What I want to go back to is what you said about the law firm culture, because not many law firms have that kind of culture which would allow families to have family dinners together. And that's what I'm trying to do now outside as an extracurricular activity with my podcast, with my social media, to make a discernible impact. Because the clients we work with generally have decent retention rates, right? And that's why we continue working with them. We have had to sack certain law firms where it was a revolving door. The culture is so toxic. A lot of the local law firms actually are like that. I'm going to call it out. And the international firms, not all of them, but a lot of them, they have proper HR processes, whistleblowing. And I realize I'm saying this as a local business, small business owner, right? But I want to do my best. I want to do what's right for the people. And there is a systemic issue that I believe our Chief Justice is trying to correct, because the attrition rate now is ridiculously high.
Yeah, so you're living out your Ikigai moment.
Yeah.
And again, I didn't prep you for this question, but
Actually, I didn't prep for this podcast.
Oh, that's
because
great.
you told me to just come.
Yeah.
So, yes.
It seems like you're prepared for it. But this question definitely is not one of those that I've sent you. Because you mentioned just now that you are preparing to tell a story to your grandchildren.
Oh, okay, yes.
So if we are recording this podcast for posterity,
Wow.
30 years, 40 years down the road, it's archived somewhere.
Oh my gosh.
It's archived somewhere. And your grandchildren happen to watch this podcast.
Yeah.
What's your story? What's your Ikigai story?
Wow. Now I wish I didn't say that. It's such a tough question. Okay. I am now doing the brave, I would say, because it requires a lot of courage, difficult thing that I believe God has has put this mission on my heart where, because I see a lot of struggling people, I see people write to me every day, like they're miserable in their lives, they feel stuck, not just lawyers, and they feel lost. I want to bring more people to God's kingdom. That is the most important thing. I'm the mouthpiece, I'm his hands, and I want to please God at the end of the day. I don't always succeed, but I want to do my best work, and I want to honor God in everything that I do, even this podcast. And I'm afraid that sometimes what I say and what I write about is too controversial and might stumble people, right? But as long as it is what God wills me to do, I think I'm going to be okay. So, yeah, I mean, my grandchildren listening to this, wow, right, is that, yeah, you know, grandma is doing her best. And grandma is still struggling every day trying to figure out, what is this? You know, I wish that God would write me an email with 10 bullet points. Shulin, this is what you do, blah, blah, blah. But it's not like that. We do not know. As business owners, it's a scary, brave new world out there. There's AI. You know, there are so many threats. People tell me that the legal industry is being disrupted. I need to be super creative. I need to think outside the box. I'm slightly paranoid. And I think that has served me well. But I also want to enjoy my life. I also want to make time for my kids. I want to make time for my husband, who's been so supportive, right? I don't know why you got me so emotional, ridiculous. I was not expecting and prepared for this. But yeah, as long as my big boss up there is happy and pleased with me, my job is done.
What would you tell them to do?
My grandchildren.
Yes, because you have shared your story.
I've shared my story.
What would you tell them to do?
Every day, read the Bible, pray, be good to their parents, and lean into their strengths.
Career choices.
Lean into their
They'll
strengths.
say, Grandma, the world expect me to be a lawyer, to be a doctor, and I don't know what to do.
Wow. I feel like my kids have failed them as parents if they say that, because there's this Asian saying that if you're either a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, or failure.
But sometimes it's not your kids, it's the world.
It's the world, yeah, okay. But it's the job of the parent to set. So there's this Pastor Craig Rochelle. I just finished reading his book.
U version. He started a U version Bible. Yeah.
So there's this book called Weird is good because normal is not, something like that. Whatever that the culture and society says is actually most of the time is off, right? Being weird, so taking Sundays off to be off your social media, for instance, people think that's weird, but actually that's what God demands of us. So I want them to be as weird as possible so that they don't forget that at the end of the day, what we need to do is to please the big guy up there. Not to please your peers, not to please your sinful desires, and not to try and just to fit in.
Yeah. I mean, when I'm hearing you say all this, God has asked us to be salt and light.
Yeah.
Right? But what does salt and light means?
Yeah.
Right? The word salt means, salt is only useful when you add taste. And when we are asked to be salt and light, we are asked to salt the world with the taste. What is that taste? And that is the kingdom taste. Right? So I see you impacting the legal marketplace with kingdom values.
Wow.
That's what I see you doing, because like I said, you are not just recruiting people, you are not just giving purpose, you're not just giving meaning in work, you are giving back time to families. And
I don't always manage to do that, but I do my best.
That's kingdom values, right? That's impacting the kingdom, that's impacting the marketplace with kingdom values. And I'm just giving you the words to say it because that's exactly the work that you do. And if I'm speaking to because my grandchildren is watching, your grandchildren is watching you, and my grandchildren is watching it as well, and they are thinking like, so what about you, Grandpa?
Yeah.
You interview. I'll probably say to them that don't let the world define you.
Yes.
Your identity is not in the work that you do. Your identity is not in the car that you drive. Your identity is not in the house that you lived in, it's not in the bags that you carry, that's not your identity.
Totally.
Your identity is in Christ. So
Yeah.
don't worry about how
So
the
well
world
said.
looked at you, but do what you think your Ikigai is,
Yeah.
which is really about the day-to-day things that you do that you find value. I do quite a few, I've done quite a few Ikigai workshops for clients. You haven't attended any one of them.
I will.
I hope you will come.
I will.
But I had quite a few Christians come to me after the workshop.
Yes.
And they say, where is God in all this? This whole Ikigai concept is great. But where is God in all this? And my answer to that is, Jesus is our Ikigai.
Yeah.
It is where everything anchors on, right? The day-to-day living that we live out our lives, Jesus is the reason why we do it.
You're right.
That's the Ikigai.
So right. Every conversation I have, every phone call when I remember, every lunch meeting, even this podcast, if I remember that God is at the center of it all, then I don't make it about myself. Like I also don't put another person on a pedestal. Like you are not better than me, I'm not better than you. I think that's the way to go. And then remember that there's so many things beyond our control. So that if our grandchildren are both listening to this, we do not know what kind of world they live in. But I would say that as long as they remember that there is a plan, there's a greater plan. And we can plan as much as we want, but we literally don't even know what will happen tomorrow, right? Don't worry so much and just live out your Ikigai, meaning keeping God at the center.
So I've always been wanting to ask you this question. This is the last question, really.
So many questions.
Yeah, just last one. Why stop at the legal industry?
Oh, okay. Actually, a lot of people ask me that.
Because the same values that you have, the same skill set. I'm not asking you to recruit for every industry, but for example, I think the accounting industry needs help. My son is an accountant.
Oh, right.
He just left after 3 years. Yeah, why stop? Because this same skill set, this same value, this same benefit, you can bring to so many other people.
True, very true. That's why I know when I say this, people think that's rubbish. I really genuinely feel like I'm only just starting my journey. So yes, I've been doing recruitment for 9 years, but let's not forget, it's only the last 3 years that I've been a sole founder. And I'm not ruling it out that I might go into other areas. And if there is a recruiter who's listening to this, or maybe an accountant wants to be a recruiter, my door is open. I have not met enough, or maybe I haven't put myself out there in terms of recruitment yet. I have not met enough people who are able to live out our values. Does that make sense?
I understand.
So, and the recruitment industry, there are a lot of recruiters who give recruiters a bad name. So it's almost like I have to hire either fresh grads or people from industry, and then we just have to do this from scratch. So I never say never. I would love to see where God leads me. Right now, I see Him leading me to continuing what I'm doing with Aslant Legal, and doing fun podcast interviews like this that make me cry, and
I didn't plan it. I didn't plan it.
I didn't, and maybe I should have been more prepared. But I'm glad that we had this conversation, Chris. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you. No, I just want to really thank you for sharing so authentically and being vulnerable. And I really hope and I really pray that whoever watches this, especially the younger people. Why I say the younger people? Because like what you said, I do notice that the younger generation today, they have... I pause because I don't know whether I'll be slammed for being for generalizing.
Take the risk.
Take the risk. Do first, apologize later. I do sense that people are more impatient. They want success fast. They want to earn big money fast. We live in a world today that is instant noodles. Nobody repairs any gadgets anymore. When things are spoiled, you can exchange for a new one. There is no patience in a slow brew. But many good things come after waiting, right? And so I want to really encourage the people who watch this, and especially younger generation, firstly to be patient, and firstly really, really do not let money define you. Do not let titles define you. Be true to yourself. What really your Ikigai is. What is it that you really know on a daily basis when you do, it brings value? What really satisfies you? And have the courage to go and pursue it. I like it when you say that when you start out, start slow, live below your means. Because yes, the journey might be tough, but if you really pursue your Ikigai, I know success will come. You may not make as much money as being a doctor or I don't know what, but the money will be enough. The money will still be rewarding. But above all, when you are earning that money, you earn it with a lot of joy because you are doing it, because it resonates, because it's aligned with what you believe your Ikigai to be. And I really want to encourage them to do that. Yeah. It's now not easy. I have not seen a lot of people doing it. And I really hope that if you are listening to this and if you are like that, I hope it encourages you to make that decision and do it. And I hope your story of someone who give up a glamorous job, a title of a lawyer, and breaking your grandma's heart. As a result of that, you pursue something that you believe in, and today you found success. You may not earn as much as like you say an equity partner, but you earn enough, and it's still very rewarding. You know, you're still paid pretty well, and most importantly, you are living the life that you should be living.
Yes, indeed. And to your point about wanting success fast, everyone wants that. Everyone. We wish we could fast forward and expedite. I wish my business was at like much bigger. I've expanded and all that. Yeah. And I asked myself, why, God? Why not? And you're right. Good things come with time. And I will also say this for people who say, easy for Chris and Shulin to talk about this. They've established their careers, they've built their businesses, they've bought their homes. I'm sure the two of us, we had our dark times too. And to people who think, it's easy for them, I will also say this. I know people with many, many millions of dollars, and yet they still feel it's not enough. And yet they still feel insecure about money. Money is never enough. If you put your security in money, if you put your self-worth in money, you will never be happy.
Thank you, Shulin.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I hope you have enjoyed this podcast and it has inspired you. And if you like our podcast, please follow. And I've been told not just follow, but please share this podcast so that many, many, many more people will get to watch this. So thank you once again for watching.
All analysis, views or opinions from interviews, recommendations and other information broadcasted, podcasted or published herein are provided for general information purposes only. Information expressed does not take into account any specific situation, particular needs or objectives and should not be construed as specific advice or a recommendation. Information has been obtained from sources that are deemed to be reliable, but their accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed. Always consult with a qualified investment, legal or tax professional before taking any action. Providend Limited does not accept any liability for any loss whatsoever arising from any use of the information broadcasted, or published herein. All contents and information contained herein may not be copied or reproduced in whole or in part by any means without prior written consent of Providend Limited.